further ado, let's go into this fight night card this coming weekend. UFC Fight Night, Dos Anjos versus Fiziev. Ooh, it's a nice little card. Let's begin with Cynthia Calvillo in the women's flyweight division. Cynthia Calvillo taking on
hang on,
Nina.
Are we not mentioning anything? We're just gonna.
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm rushing through it. Before we get into these 5 fights, we want to quickly preview any other fights or fighters that you guys want to highlight and spotlight.
Yeah, I was going to give you a couple things quick. One fight that I actually think is a really interesting fight is the first fight on the entire card. Ronnie Lawrence against Saidjikov Kakramanov is a real solid bantamweight fight. Kakramanov debuted by beating Trevin Jones, which is a legit win right out of the gate. He looked really good. Ronnie Lawrence is 2-0 in the octagon. He has been very impressive. These are two guys who I think may have moved up much further had they not already been paired against each other. So obviously someone's going to take a loss here, but it's two up-and-coming talents at bantamweight for sure, and that's a good fight. And the odds are tight too, so that should be a good one, absolutely. And then the other that I was going to highlight is Ricky Tercios fighting his second UFC fight after winning
Good
tough.
fight.
He will be across from Ayman Zahabi, which is a fair test for this point. Zahabi's a little bit up and down, but I think that's a good one. And we'll see what mini Tony Ferguson has. I'm sure Omar wanted to say something about Tercios as well.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love Ricky Tercios. He's such a character, man, and he's just so much fun to watch. I can't look at that dude and want bad things for him. I just can't. Yeah. He's such a good guy.
Pretty Ricky.
A couple of fights that I wanted to point out really quick. Cody Brundage versus Tresean Gore. That's a fantastic fight. That fight is set up for fireworks from beginning to end. Tresean Gore, for those of you who don't remember, was the finalist for the tough. I don't even actually remember what season it was at this point. 30, 40,
Tough,
50,
the last one,
whatever it was. But he was the finalist against Ricky Tercios. No. Same season, different weight class.
Yeah.
Right. But he'll be going up against Cody Brundage, who's also a fantastic fighter. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's more of a grappler than a striker. Correct me if I'm wrong there. So it'll be interesting to see sort of a kind of like a grappler's delight. But Tresean Gore definitely has, I think, better hands than Brundage does. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And then last but not least, Antonia Shevchenko versus Courtney Casey. And what did I say? Antonia. Nope, that's not it. Antonina Shevchenko versus Courtney Casey. I think that's also a fantastic fight. Antonina is still a very skilled striker. Valentina obviously sets a very, very high bar, so I don't want to continue to compare her to her sister. But she is still very, very skilled in her own right, so it'll be interesting to see if she can put Courtney Casey away, because Courtney Casey is a veteran.
Big time.
Just one more thing I forgot to say. Not really a fighter. I mean, not really a fight, more a fighter, is that David Onama was supposed to be fighting Austin Lingo on this card, and Lingo fell off. Originally, they said Onama would not be competing on the card. I think as of yesterday or today, they found someone, and now he is back on the card. So he's a stud. He wrecked Gabriel Benitez in his last fight. He's probably going to wreck this late notice replacement, but you will want to watch it.
For sure.
Okay, let's
do it.
Quick pick, a little bit, quickish pickish. These first few fights, because sweet Jesus, it's late.
Yeah,
in the women's flyweight division, Cynthia Calvillo takes on Nina Nunez. Let's see. We have Cynthia Calvillo, 3-fight losing skid as of late, most recently getting TKO'd corner stoppage by Andrea Lee back in November. Nina Nunez coming off back-to-back wins, back-to-back losses, most recently submitted by Mackenzie Dern back in April of 2021. Mark, give us your quick take and a quick pick.
Odds. Calvillo is the favorite, minus 155, or Calvillo, I should say. Nina Nunez is the dog at plus 125, so pretty close. This is a tough one. I was kind of flip-flopping on this one, thinking about it coming into tonight. I don't feel like Nina is very controllable. I really don't. Even Claudia Gadelha couldn't control her, who's probably a better wrestler than Calvillo is. Now, granted, it's been a minute since Nina has won a fight, so it's possible that I'm envisioning a Nina Nunez that doesn't exist anymore, a Nina Ansaroff, if you will. But I'm also not terribly encouraged by what I've seen from Cynthia Calvillo lately, and it's making me have a hard time picking her. I don't know. She looks off. She does not look like the same girl that was racking up wins. I don't feel comfortable taking her here. I'm going to go with Nunez. I'm going to say that she can do enough to not get controlled, that she can kind of keep it standing, use her power, land the more impactful shots, do the more damage, and win the cards.
Omar.
I said it before, and I'll continue to say it as long as this continues to be a thing. I will never pick Cynthia Calvillo at 125 at this point. I hate her at 125.
Granted, she's fighting a fellow strawweight. This is Nina's first fight up there, too.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. I've never really cared for the way she looks. Not never. I don't like the way she's looked at 125 in her recent fights. I think she belongs at 115. I think if she got that under control, she would be a real problem at 115. But the size is apparent in almost every fight that girl has had in recent memory. And I think it's going to be the exact same situation with Nina. I think Nina is going to be visibly bigger than Cynthia, and I think there's going to be problems with Cynthia being able to deal with it at all, whether in the striking or in the grappling. Nina Nunez, by no stretch of the imagination, is a slouch on the ground. The losses that girl has had recently have been to elite fighters. Tatiana Suarez, who, if you think you're not getting taken down by Tatiana Suarez, you don't know what Tatiana Suarez does. And then she's also lost to Mackenzie Dern, who took an arm home with her. That's also not something that's completely shocking. You know what I mean? Like she loses to people, but give or take, she's still very, very solid with her resume. I can't see her losing to Cynthia, not in this weight class. I'm going to go with Nina Nunez I'll go by decision.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh, he's back. We're good.
Damn it.
We're good.
It's two fucking things I need to cut out now.
We're good. You don't have to cut this. We're fine.
No, don't cut it. Oh my God.
We're fine. Pick it up.
No,
What'd you do? You picked her by
Both
what?
of them are fucking frozen?
Who's frozen?
Who's frozen?
Does he think we're frozen now? Fuck. Now he's frozen again.
No,
oh
he's
my
not.
God.
I'm looking right at him. Omar, are you not seeing and hearing us?
It's all fucked up. Shit. Omar. This is just a shit show, man. Riverside, man. That's what we get for going this long, I guess. It's playing with fire.
Really?
There you go, Omar. Are you not hearing us?
Omar.
Oh, Mark's moving.
Yeah, dude, we're here.
Mike's fucking frozen still.
No, I'm not.
Dude, we've been hearing you and seeing you this entire time.
God damn it. This is crazy.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know.
Can you hear
Are
us?
you back normal right now?
Are you back?
I'm fine now. Well, Mike is still
Okay.
frozen.
No, I'm not. Mark, tell him I'm
Mike
not.
not frozen
He's
for
not.
you?
No, he's not.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man. Everyone make sure their shit uploads 100% before we finish tonight. This is brutal.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Omar,
going on here.
What'd you take Nina by?
I will be taking Nina by decision.
All right.
Okay. Let's just move on.
Yes.
Don't worry about my picks.
I still
Mark,
can't
you will
at all.
you will have to translate real quick. In the lightweight division, fuck this. Michael Johnson takes on Jamie Malarkey. Michael Johnson recently has snapped a 4-fight losing streak by knocking out Alan Patrick, back in May. Jamie Malarkey, the Aussie, 2-3 in the UFC, most recently getting TKO'd by Jalen Turner, who just turned in a spectacular performance this past weekend at UFC 276. Mark, go first, and then cue up Omar for me.
He's hearing you, dude.
Who he is now?
But I can't hear him. I don't know if he's talking.
Wait,
See?
you can't hear Mike?
No, I can't hear him or see him. He's frozen.
That's why I said,
Oh, dude, so we can't do this?
yeah, we can. We're going to finish strong.
I don't know if Mike should refresh because he works for you.
All right,
I work for you.
let's just finish. All right. I'll just go first every time so Omar knows what's happening. Michael Johnson, plus 190. Jamie Malarkey, minus 240. Wider than I expected. Look, I am a Michael Johnson fan. I have been for a long time. If he was fighting like, I don't know, Armin Sarukian. I feel like I keep using his name for every example tonight. If he was fighting someone like that, I wouldn't be able to take him. He's not. He's fighting Jamie Malarkey. He may not win, but fuck it. I'm going with Michael Johnson. He does have a chance. I got to roll with him. Malarkey is very willing to strike and to exchange. He brings a lot of pressure, which, if I'm being honest, could be problematic and maybe the way this fight goes, which is that the pressure breaks Michael Johnson. But I am going to say that Michael Johnson is cleaner and that at some point in a fight that he's losing, he finds a huge shot that turns the tide and he gets Malarkey out of there. I will say late round 2 TKO for Michael Johnson.
This one's a little interesting. I love Michael Johnson. I love watching Michael Johnson fight. But the one thing I think we've all seen Michael Johnson have issues with is adversity. I think when Michael Johnson gets a lot of pressure put on him, when there's a lot of forward movement, he has the ability to crumble. He's had the ability to sort of get drowned in those moments. Jamie Malarkey has that durability. I think has that type of forward movement and drowning style. I think he will get clipped. I think Johnson will definitely be able to hit him, but I wouldn't be shocked if Jamie Malarkey was able to walk him down, stress him out, gas him out, and then just kind of wear on him until he goes away. The first round, I think, will be the biggest tell as to how that fight might be going down. If it goes past the first round, I think Malarkey has a much better chance to win that fight than Michael Johnson going forward. I will go by Jamie Malarkey, round 3 KO.
That is the very correct take. But
yes, I too will go Malarkey by TKO in the second. Okay, in the bantamweight division, DouglasSilva de Andrade takes on Said Nurmagomedov. We have Nurmagomedov coming off back-to-back wins, most recently a submission win over Cody Stamann. He is 4-1 in the UFC, 15-2 overall. And Da Silva, back-to-back wins, most recently a rear naked choke win over Sergey Morozov. And he himself is 6-4 in the UFC, 28-4 overall. Mark, once again, go first and then cue up Omar for me.
Omar, you're still not hearing Mike? Oh,
nope.
Shit. All right, we got Douglas-Silva de Andrade at plus 210. Said Nurmagomedov at minus 270. Another one pretty wide. I just want to shout out Douglas-Silva de Andrade for a second. I feel like this guy is a perpetually underrated fighter. I have always thought that. The man's record, first off, is 28-4-1 no contest, but 28-4. Right. And he should be a bantamweight. He did a little foray up to featherweight. 2 of those losses are up at featherweight to Rob Font and Zubaira Tukhugov. Really, at bantamweight, the guy's lost 2 fights, and they're to Piotr Jan and Lerone Murphy, who's also very good. So I feel like de Andrade is very underrated in the general opinion. With that said, despite the fact that he's not an easy out for anyone, I think I got to go with Nurmagomedov in this fight. He's just looked so impressive. Andrade can be hurt. He can be out-grappled. He's one of those guys who can kind of shift between winning and losing fights like at any moment. He did exactly that in his last fight against Sergey Morozov. But I just think that Said is going to be a little bit of a level above everywhere. I think no matter where it takes place, he can kind of keep the edge. I think if it's going bad for him somewhere, he can take it somewhere else. I just think he's the dictator here. I think he's the cleaner fighter. And I think he can outstrike Andrade and maybe hurt him at some point late. I will say it is a club and sub in round 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say it better than that. Nurmagomedov is definitely the guy that I'm going to be going for in this fight. I think stylistically he's just a little bit more dominant. I think what you said with being the cleaner fighter, I think is really what what sets him apart. I think Douglas is just a little too wild. I think he's very opportunistic when he's in the cage. If he sees something, if he's rolling around, if he can catch you in something, he will. But I think Nurmagomedov is not going to give him that opportunity because of how clean he fights. So I think I'm going to go with Nurmagomedov by decision.
I'm going to say that even though Nurmagomedov has never been knocked out in his professional career, he's never been finished in any way, I'm going to say the law of averages catches up to my guy. And the man with 20 knockouts on his record, 20 knockout wins on his record, is going to finish Nurmagomedov. Let's go round one. He's going to catch him.
Wow. Omar, you're not hearing this, but Mike has taken Andrade by round one knockout.
Holy hell.
Let's go. Okay, main event. Let's bring the show to a close.
No, not main event. Co-main event.
Oh, excuse me. Co-main event. Middleweight bout. We have Borrelio versus Petrossian. Borrelio has won 2 fights on Dana White's Contender Series, won his UFC proper debut back in April. He is riding an 8-fight win streak as a pro, and he hasn't lost since his second pro fight back in 2015. Petrossian, riding a 3-fight win streak coming into this weekend, most recently a split decision over Gregory Rodriguez back in February. He was victorious both in his Dana White Contender Series fight and his UFC debut, and he himself is riding a 3-fight win streak heading into Saturday night. Mark, once again, start it off.
All right, you got Caio Borrelio at -210, Armen Petrossian at +175. I think that Caio Borrelio wowed a lot of people in his debut, and I think that is the reason he is in a co-main event on this card over some other fights that are on it. I think that maybe people knew he was good, but not quite that good, and they were like, "Oh shit, let's see what we have here." So big spotlight for him in a co-main under a really nice main event as well. Petrossian is also very good, and he's very technical on the feet. He can absolutely get into a flow where he starts picking you apart. He beat, as you said, Gregory Rodriguez, which is a legit win for a debut, too, specifically. But Caio Borrelio showed off where his striking is in his debut. I think it's at a high enough level to be okay in there with Petrossian. I think it's better than people even thought it was. And then, of course, he can take things down. Gregory Rodriguez did not try to take Petrossian down. He was willing to exchange with him. Borrelio will, and Borrelio is filthy on the mat, and I will say he finds a sub in round 2 and becomes a guy to watch here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Petrossian is very good, especially if you look at his resume. He is a monster when it comes to knocking people out. But I think his last fight really showed some holes in his game. Holes that I think... how do you say his name? Is it Chow? Cow?
Caio.
Caio. Wrong.
I think.
Way around. We'll go with that. I think Caio has showed a definitely more well-rounded approach that I think is gonna be an issue for Armen in that fight. I'm actually going to be going with round 1 KO.
Oh, baby.
Screw it. I'll make it interesting. I'm going to go Petrossian round 1 knockout.
Mike has gone Petrossian round 1 knockout.
Okay.
Oh, buddy.
The main
These picks are
event
getting out
of
of
the
control.
evening, the Saturday night UFC Fight Night, Dos Anjos versus Fiziev. We have Rafael on Rafael violence, ladies and gentlemen, going down in the lightweight division. This is a big fight right here. So we have
So good.
the living legend, Rafael Dos Anjos. His record is 31-13 as a pro. He himself is 37 years old. The Brazilian, coming off back-to-back wins against Renato Carneiro and Paul Felder. Fiziev, of course, the Kyrgyzstani fighter, coming into Saturday night with a 5-fight win streak, most recently knocking out Brad Riddell in spectacular fashion with that very memorable spinning wheel kick. Mark, let me send it over to you first. What's your take on this Rafael squared showdown?
All right, glad we're finally getting this fight. The younger Rafael is favored. He is -210. And Dos Anjos is plus 170 as the dog.
Wow.
This one's interesting. I really don't think anything would surprise me. I'm leaning Fiziev, but I'm not sure we've seen him on the mat enough for me to feel totally comfortable, because RDA is a guy who will relentlessly hold you down and do work on you if you cannot find a way to get up. And I can't rule out that he can do that to Fiziev. I don't think I've seen enough out of Fiziev to say, oh, Fiziev will definitely be able to stop that, be able to get up. So there's concern, even though Fiziev is going to be my pick here.
Oh, wow.
It's I don't know. If he is able to prevent RDA from working that constant takedown, wear on him, repeat game, and I think he is. I think the fight favors Fiziev. And I guess that's what these odds expect, with them being 2-1 for Fiziev. I think he'll be able to get 3 rounds at least out of this fight. What I keep going back to is that RDA's striking is the kind that requires exchanges. Like, it's not super smooth or clean or a stay safe style of striking. Like, RDA's style of striking puts him in the fire. And doing that with Fiziev, I think, is really dangerous. I think that's a tightrope to walk. I could see maybe RDA catch Fiziev off guard with some things early. I could see RDA maybe come on late in a fight that he's losing because Fiziev's cardio's not there. Like, I really could see a lot of periods where RDA is finding ways to win this fight. But as a whole, I just think that Fiziev will find a way to get 3 of these rounds, do enough in the striking, land enough, accumulate enough damage, and I will say he takes a decision and a massive step forward in his career.
I think the fight itself, especially stylistically, is very interesting. I think Mark kind of explained it really well, where RDA, if he's not feeling comfortable standing, will 100% rely on his grappling to get the job done. And I don't think we've seen enough for Fiziev at this point to know whether that's going to really affect him or not. I will say I think Fiziev has the better striking acumen than Dos Anjos does. If it does end up being a stand-up fight, I think Fiziev is going to be able to take it away. I think Fiziev has a nice record of being able to find and land clean shots that are damaging on guys at least once throughout the fight. Rafael Dos Anjos would, while he does have hands, I think he would be more content if he can't find clean shots to mix his shots together right into a takedown and then try to go for a takedown. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of moments where they're against the cage. And I think we're going to see a lot of moments where Fiziev is going to have to either work out of the clinch and then try to keep distance, or we might see a facet to his game that we've never seen before, where he might try to take RDA down, because that has definitely happened before in RDA's career, not Fiziev's. But I think it's a very interesting fight stylistically. I think it's a big test for Fiziev. I love the way Fiziev fights, so I'm hoping he gets it done. I just think it's definitely a tall order, and I do wonder if Rafael's ground game is going to be enough. So I'm going to take Rafael by decision. But
which one?
I really want Fiziev to win.
Wait,
which Rafael?
Which person did you take to win the decision?
Dos Anjos.
Okay.
Did I say Rafael? That didn't make it clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dos Anjos by decision, but I hope Fiziev wins.
Okay. Mike,
Rafael Dos Anjos is a kind of UFC veteran and star who is a star-making win for anybody who beats him. Like, you beat RDA and you're kind of made in your division.
Agree.
That being said, I am going to go with Fiziev in this. At 29 years old, he's nearly a decade younger, entering his prime, and I think he's going to have a lot more firepower on the feet. I think he's going to be the stronger fighter in there, which is hard to say against RDA. And I think he's going to get RDA out of there. I'm going to say he clubs RDA to a finish. I'm going to say by TKO in round 3.
Omar,
There it is.
round 3 TKO Fiziev is Mike's pick.
Okay.
That one's rough. I don't see Dos Anjos going out like that, but listen, it's totally possible.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, guys.